Hello everyone, this is Lachlan, and welcome back to another video on the Gray Builds YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing a comparison video of the different versions of Ryu the Dragon from Lego Ninjago. So, let's get right into it. First of all, I want to focus this video on comparing the three previous versions of Ryu we got to the new one, instead of just focusing on comparing all of the three ones together, because I do have another video that already showcases that. So, what you're going to see today is mostly showcasing some things I've now changed my feelings about of some of these dragons, and how the new one stacks up to them. So let's get right into this video. So, this first comparison is kind of funny at this point, because we're comparing the version of Ryu that was first introduced in sets, so the molded version, and we're comparing him with the Ninja Dragon Riyu, which is the newest and largest version. The main reason why I'm comparing these two is just to show how far Ryu has come as a character. You started as a little dragon mold, which had some print detailing, but also like very little, if that, usability for play. It kind of doesn't have any moving joints, and the sculpt is really cool. I personally like the design, but he gets better as he gets bigger, obviously. I will note that he does use pretty much the same color scheme, but he has improved on his colors based on the original design, whereas now he has slight hints of honeycomb yellow being used, or flame yellowish orange if you're familiar with the color with that name, which is kind of cool because it kind of ties in with Aaron's ninja suit as a color, but he also uses much more dark blue and adds in gold to his color scheme as well. While there are some dark blue details, there's a lot more of it used for like the underside of Ryu in the larger sets. As you can see, he also has much more posability now. So let's move on to the next comparison. Next up, we're going to be comparing the Young Dragon Ryu to Ninja Dragon Ryu here, and first off I want to mention that they do use some very similar pieces throughout these builds. First off, the head is using the same sculpted mold with different prints on each of them. And also, in the back of the armored sections of their backs, they both use the Evo shoulder armor piece that was introduced for Ninjago mechs as well. That's a cool similarity between the two, but where I think the new one shines is that its wings seem to be a better fit for the size of the dragon and have better posability than the wings on the Young Ryu, which kind of feels shoehorned in because they recreated those wings for the Spinjitzu Dragon Power Flyers that they released for that year as well. Now, one point of contention that I've seen people say online that they don't like about the new Ryu here is that the head has a bottom sculpted jaw. Now, I can kind of see where they're coming from. The mold on the head kind of makes it look like it has an extra mouth if you look at it that way. However, I choose to see that as a line of scales that are growing in. I mean, he is a dragon. His face isn't going to be completely uniform. But also, it's made me look back at the previous versions here and realize how hollow the head feels when you have it posed anywhere to the side. It just reveals a plain open area that could be covered up with a brick-built jaw. So in that case, I think the newer one kind of edges out on top of this. The only thing I'd still say that would be a good reason to go and pick up the younger Ryu is likely just because it's a nice small set that features two good minifigures and a villain minifigure on top of that, and is just a fun, cute build overall. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the third dragon comparison. So here we are with the Young Dragon Ryu that's featured in the Ninja combo vehicle for Ninjago Dragons Rising, and of course, yet again, we have Ninja Dragon Ryu. Now, these both are the largest versions of Ryu that we have, and it showcases how much he's grown within just one wave of sets. And that's from last January to this season, which is this January. So it's like 1 year's worth of sets, and he's already doubled in size. That's pretty cool. I should also mention that there is the usage of the same head, though just like with the Young Dragon Ryus that we looked at before, if you turn this head anywhere slightly to the side, it looks very empty on the bottom, whereas the new version doesn't really have that issue. Additionally, they did introduce these new big wing pieces being used for Ryu in this wave, but they don't really fit with this Ryu, whereas they feel like they're a better fit in size for the Ninja Dragon Ryu. Additionally, I feel like this one's a slight bit better when it comes to show accuracy with the tail design. However, it does have all this like white and gold armor to match with the combo mech that we never really get to see him use in the show, as opposed to the newer Dragon Ryu where the armor seems to be intentional based on the trailers. So, overall, I'm pretty happy with how the new Ryu stacks up against the old ones, but there's one more thing I want to talk about, so let me get all the Ryus together, and we'll talk about that next. So, now that we have all 4 of the Ryus together here, I wanted to discuss one thing before we finish up the video, and that is, what would I like to see next from this line? It's pretty clear that LEGO has dedicated some pretty hefty funds to be able to create different forms of Ryu, starting from this cool molded piece that they had to create for the baby Ryu, creating some new molds and recolors for Ryu in his young form, upscaling them and making even more cool parts and recolors for his form that comes in the combo mech, all the way to creating a dedicated set to make him a full-fledged ninja on the team. Now, of course, this likely means we're going to get another Dragon Ryu in the future. And there's one thing that I really think I would like to see in the future for Ryu, and that would be different types of wings. All of the versions of Ryu have some sort of like plastic molded wing element. Whether it be the standard, like stationary ones in the molded version, the ones from the Spinjitzu Dragon Flyers that are on the young Ryu, and the larger ones which were created for this version of Ryu as well. Now, I'd like them to obviously do like fabric wings like some of the more epic dragons, but vinyl wings would also be pretty cool, just to add some more detail to these guys. But I am very excited for the next iteration. But if you really do like Ninjago Dragons and are looking for some more interesting dragons to take a look at, I will be doing a video coming out soon that focuses on my upgrades that I've made to the Arc Dragon of Life set that came out this year as well. So stay tuned for that one, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you all have a great day.